Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining us for this segment, we have Jeremy Swift, CEO of Cordial, to discuss expectations for two key days in the holiday retail season, of course, Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Jeremy, it's great to have you with us. Welcome back to Trade Talks.
Thanks so much, Jill. Great to be here with you.
Do consumers expect to shop more in 2021 for Black Friday and Cyber Monday? And what demographic are especially excited to flock the deals?
Yeah, it's a great question. We expect Black Friday and Cyber Monday to be really big this year. So at Cordial, we see tens of billions of messages across all of our clients, and all the signs point to this being a really, really big shopping period this year. So in terms of who will be most active during this period, it really is those generations that demand kind of that instant gratification that really dominated all of the survey results there. So Gen Z and millennials plan to shop more over Black Friday and Cyber Monday by a pretty wide margin. And so I don't know if that is FOMO for them at the end of the day, but that really is a big demographic that we see that really is going to be out there in force this year. But I will say relevancy really is the key thing for this demographic and for this group, and that brands that want to really need to show that they know those consumers. And we've got a couple of them. Revolve and Eddie Bauer, two really fantastic brands that have really transformed kind of that consumer experience in terms of using all of their data, not just about their consumers, but across their product and inventory data to really show that consumer, we know you, we understand you, and they're really orchestrating that across channels like email, mobile, and SMS. And in the last survey results that actually we showed too, this data was really overwhelming in terms of showing that brands who are highly personalized and relevant in their messaging, they really will win in an outsized way.
Yep, it's really interesting that you say that, because I feel like some of the text messages I get, like I just had a conversation with a marketer, how detailed they are and specific to what you're looking for is really quite impressive. But Jeremy, how concerned are shoppers about shipping delays with supply chain constraints and labor shortages?
Yeah, I'll tell you, consumers are actually highly concerned about many of the shipping delays that could potentially occur out there. So ensuring that their orders get there on time it's frankly kind of a new level of anxiety, I would say, that consumers are dealing with, and that brands have to really take some ownership over helping them quell that anxiety in terms of how they communicate to them in a more intelligent and effective way to really educate that consumer on what's going on with product inventory, what's going on with potential shipping delays. Those are really, really important things that brands really have the ownership over during this holiday season. And I'll tell you, many of our clients at Cordial are seeing this, though, as an opportunity to engage their customers this weekend in, frankly, just unique ways that can motivate both an online or an in-store purchase from them. Providing customers really that rich information about that experience and what's going on there is really critical. And frankly, that's kind of motivating to some consumers too. If I know that certain products are running low on inventory and I'm being alerted, kind of as you mentioned, highly personalized text messages and things like that from brands, again, those digitally savvy demographics out there of the Gen Zs and the millennials, they're going to respond in a big way to this, I believe. And I'll tell you, to be honest, it's 2021 though too. It is not okay to just kind of batch and blast your marketing messages out to consumers any longer. That consumers really are looking for highly relevant messages. They really want to see that brands know them, and they're going to respond to that in a pretty big way when brands do that.
If consumers cannot get the gifts they want, what is the alternative?
I will tell you here, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. In this particular case, I will tell you the headline is not about necessarily supply chain or inflation as it relates to this. I think that consumers are evolving significantly in terms of becoming more digitally savvy. Now, I would really kind of break this down into three key areas. The first one is there are opportunities for brands kind of in this world or this season that we're in right now where consumers are going to buy more gift cards. So the survey data that we got back really told us that they do plan to do that. Now, I will tell you, we expect them to do that as kind of a last resort. So frankly, using solutions like Cordial, there are opportunities for marketers and for brands to partner with their customers this holiday season and really help them kind of navigate some of those real-time changes that are going on with product availability and shipping delays. And there's just going to be high order volume generally across the board. But I think some interesting things here is that the reality is a consumer is, while they're in your store, if they're physically in your store shopping, they're also shopping multiple other stores digitally at the same time. So a gift card is not the easy out necessarily for a brand because you might not have that product. It's important to make sure that you're communicating with them fairly effectively through that experience. The second is that consumers are open to giving a gift of kind of an experience out there too. So if they're not able to get that product that they're looking for in store or while they're virtually shopping, other services like a restaurant or a spa experience or entertainment or travel, things like that. We've got a number of clients in those verticals that are expecting to be kind of highly active during this holiday season to really be able to capitalize on some of that frenzy out there over Black Friday and Cyber Monday. But the last point, the third one that I think is really important is this idea of just being much more intelligent in terms of how brands are marketing out there. So this really speaks to the growing value of machine learning and AI capabilities that I will tell you, Cordial is really at the forefront of this in terms of helping brands like Revolve that we see here to be highly intelligent about using all of their data about their customers combined with that product and inventory data to be able to say, here's some recommendations of things we think you might be interested in. And the data that we got from this survey showed in a really massive fashion that consumers are interested in that. They're interested in knowing what a brand's recommendations are for them. And frankly, when a brand builds trust with a consumer through being intelligent with their communications, it shows us that more digitally savvy customers are going to respond to that and respond to those recommendations in a big way.
And Jeremy, let's wrap up on that. How are consumers approaching marketers and messaging following what's been a couple of years of economic and social uncertainty? The point that you made about spas is really interesting, assuming that COVID remains under control. I mean, last year we weren't able to do it, especially in the Northeast. We weren't able to do any of that. So I would imagine that it's just such a great point that you make. So I'm curious to hear how consumers are approaching all these efforts.
Yeah. I think some of those changes and kind of things opening up a little bit more it's a flip. It's a change there, but it's I think something that's really important to just wrap up on and highlight is, and this one, frankly, Jill, hits really close to home with me because it's this idea of kindness and empathy in terms of how you communicate with your customers. You know, frankly, we intentionally named our company Cordial, and we believe that the attributes of being cordial, frankly, should be reflected in all of the ways that we interact with individuals. And I would frankly say that consumers say the exact same thing, that what they want and expect from a brand is that they interact with a level of just empathy and with kindness in their communications. And, you know, I think that's a big opportunity this holiday season for brands. Also showing the idea of, you know, that the greater good matters out there for them as well. So consumers are expecting that. They're not just looking for the deals, they are looking for a level of kindness and empathy. And when brands show that they know their customer, that they're aware of them, and that they know what they're interested in and what matters to them, I think they'll win, not just in the short term, but in the long term. And frankly, in the end, being cordial is never really a bad thing, right?
That's a very good point, Jeremy. Appreciate the insight. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.
Thanks so much, Jill.